Okay guys, I'm asking for it here, but I want you to rate my not quite proper put together go bag. So, here we go. Now, my disclaimer before I really get going, I have not taken care of this thing. I have not kept it up like I should have. You know, from time to time, things come out of it. Not everything was put back in. Some funky things were put back. It's not in great condition right now, so I'm not even totally sure what's in it. So go ahead and pick the bones clean on this one, and I'm just gonna go pocket by pocket, and we're gonna see what I got here. All right, I know what this is. This is my compass. It's a Lensatic engineering style. Some people call it a military style compass. It's a fairly cheap one, but it is the best of all the cheaper ones. This is something like around a $30 compass. It's got my bubble level. It's got my mil quadrants on it. It's got my degree. The lensing is actually pretty good on it, and it's fairly durable. It's a aluminum housed compass. There is a little bit of plastic in it though, so it has some weak points. I've carried that around for at least about 10 years, I guess. It's done decent for me. I've used it to navigate up in the mountains in Montana, up by Lewis Creek and Ice Creek for some hunting trips. That was pretty cool. All right, I have binoculars. Just a cheap pair of 8x21s, just 8 power zoom, good enough to work if I want to look at something that I can't quite see well. These will do. These are compact, so small that they almost don't work, but they basically work. I have a spare magazine for my pistol. I've got some nice hollow points in there. My pistol. That's my Glock 20, so those are 10 millimeter. However, it's only a 10 round magazine because that's what came with the pistol when I bought it. It was actually a 10 round with a block in it, so it only held 9 because the guy was from Illinois. I have a box of 22 shells because a lot of times when I'm out in the woods, which I always bring this camping or hunting or whatever, I've always got my 22 with me, or at least my 22 pistol, which actually usually sits in my briefcase. So some 22 ammo is just fine, I guess. A little extra weight may or may not be practical since I already have my EDC Glock 20 10 millimeter. Also quickly accessible, a little notebook to take whatever small notes, permanent marker for said little notebook, and this is something that a lot of people might not understand. What do you think this is? Obviously a mask, and basically it's kind of like a ski mask. This is what we just call a snow mask. It's just a neoprene mask. It's insulated neoprene, Insulate style. When we're out in horrible blizzard weather, just throwing this on, I don't even need to put a hat on. I've got enough shaggy hair that my head stays warm if I can keep my face warm. I got weather that, like we had a couple weeks ago, cold enough that when you blink, sometimes your eyelids kind of stick and freeze shut a little bit, and you got to kind of pry them open a little bit. Something like this keeps my face warm enough that doesn't usually happen. I've got another magazine. This is for my 10 millimeter Glock, for my Glock 20. This is a 15 round. It's empty. Reason for that is I have seen over time compression of the spring sometimes causes the spring to weaken. If I'm storing this in here long term, maybe I want at least one full-size magazine that isn't loaded. I can load it later. I hopefully have that box of ammo in here. No, look, some 22 ammo spilled. Look at that. Oh, and a lighter. I always have 1 or 2 lighters just loose somewhere in the pack. Just a little cheap Bic lighter. I think it's a dollar store lighter. There's something in here. What is that? A little pack of matches. Just a little something I threw in there. Strike-on box matches that are almost reliable. And that's all I've got in there. Moving on to the bigger pouch. All right. A little spare clothes. I've got just a drab-colored t-shirt, a pair of thick, warm, dry socks, and a plain, non-discriminate, plain, drab-colored t-shirt. Just a fairly plain, non-standing out ball cap, and a pair of underpants in case I need a change. I learned a long time ago to keep spare clothes like that in a Ziploc bag. This one's not reclosing. I think I might need a new one. A freezer bag is my preferred style of Ziploc type bags. This one needs a new one. It's old. Oh, it's working now. because they're thicker plastic, they have a double seal, keeps things dry should my bag get submerged. Alrighty, I have another pair of thick, warm winter socks in a bag just to keep them dry. Just nice, fluffy. Those are acrylic. And then I have another pair of not in a bag, thick winter socks. Why do you have so many socks? Because I hate walking all day long in wet, soaking socks in freezing weather. When the snow gets a little slushy, it's horrible. Alrighty, one lightweight, cheap glove like you can buy at the gas station. That's useless. That's dumb. What else do I got in here? Playing cards, because why not? Another snow mask, because usually there's more than one person with me. My knives. I have my ever-beloved Moriniv. I like it a lot. At one time, I painted this all camouflage. It's starting to wear off, but originally I got Blaze Orange because I don't want to lose it. I lost a knife before. I lost 2 different knives. Set them down, I couldn't find them in the woods. It's really embarrassing. So I got the orange one so I could find it easier, but I was carrying it while hunting, so I painted it camouflage. Probably didn't need to be done. I got the knife that I like more. This is my Buck. Oh yeah, the Buck 119. I love that sucker. I wrote some great articles, by the way, on guntradition.com about what to look for in a hunting knife. So go ahead and check those out. It's got a lot of great insight that most people don't think about. Talking about specifically the worst designs in hunting knives. Alrighty, moving on. I have 16% menthol muscle rub because I get some back problems and neck problems from time to time. Also, something I probably shouldn't have right next to liquid muscle rub, my fire starting gear. I have more lighters. I have a box of 10mm ammo. This I've got to watch. This is all getting, probably just since I brought it out here, it's all getting humid. But my 10mm, just full metal jacket, 1 box. In the true Minuteman format, I always want some extra ammo around. Because you know what? It's a daggone good thing should you ever need it. And 1 box doesn't weigh very much. That's just 50 rounds. Set that down. Ugh. I remember putting that in there, but not always my favorite. A can of sardines. I like these when they're warmed up, but if I had to eat it cold out of the can, yuck. Then again, there is actually one good thing a guy told me once about having something in your bag you don't really want to eat all the time. You know, something you don't really like. And that is, I'm not going to be likely to get into this bag on a work day when I forgot to pack a lunch and eat my go gear. Alright, I have Armor Vienna bites and more sardines. And more sardines. I guess there must have been a sale. More lighters. I'm always a fan of Bic lighters. We've got, oh, this is where it gets messy. I got a trash bag, which was supposed to be actually in one of the side pockets, but isn't. It's just to put in things. If I have dirty clothes or wet clothes, I can put them in a plastic bag and they'll be fairly contained. I've got a little bit of camouflage face paint for who knows what reasons. Maybe I want to blend in. Honestly, I bring this bag hunting whenever I go, so it kind of makes sense for me to have a little extra hunting related gear. I have a half of a phone charger, not a full thing. That's something to work on. I've got a pistol belt that I don't really wear anymore, so it just stays in there, my gun belt. Face paint. There we go. I have a bag of fast food condiments. There's some Jets Pizza crushed red peppers, Taco Bell sauce, ketchup packets. Because maybe I want to put some of that on my sardines to make it better. I've got a box of, half a box, I guess, of Winchester Silvertip 10mm. That's the hollow point defense rounds that I usually use in my 10mm. So it's what I'm used to shooting and they tend to go well for my pistol. Not too much ammo, is it? That's 50 rounds of 22. I got, between the one magazine and this box, I got about 20 rounds of 10mm hollow points, another 50 rounds of 10mm hollow points. It's not excessive, is it? I got my cook can. This is just a Stanley cook can. And I did make one adjustment to it. I put this little ring of just coat hanger wire around it with little loops on the side of it. And it slides up to this ridge here and it stops nicely. The purpose of that, which there was another piece to this that must have fallen out. Again, the purpose to that was I had another wire shoved in here, so I thought, that hooked onto this and it made a handle so I could hang it up on a stick over a fire versus trying to set it on the coals of my campfire and having it tip over. No fun at all in there. I have no idea where that piece of wire went though. Now I gotta find it. It was wrapped up around this thing or put inside or something. I don't know. Oh! The can for my Spam or corned beef hash, whatever that is. The key for it. And then I got my mini go bag, which is my original go bag, and it's, if I had to travel lighter and just get rid of everything else, I'd carry just this. Supposedly, let's see what's in it. A box of 22. This is the ones that shoot best out of my rifle, not my pistol necessarily, but the rifle. Just a Gia 22 Super Extras. I have my Leatherman multi-tool. This is the original Leatherman survival tool. They didn't call it a multi-tool at the time. It's my very favorite, although the screwdriver broke. Gun cleaning equipment, just some wipes and Q-tips. I have my little emergency lightweight poncho and a couple hand warmers. Awesome in the winter around here. I have a bundle of, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 little red glow sticks. I can see these from about 200 yards away at night. So if I need to mark something or if I need somebody to be able to find a location, those are handy. And then the classic TPs for fire starting or for dealing with the thunder from down under. My water filter straw. I love just the little simple straw filters. It's a 2-piece. The filter just hooks into the straw and you just go for it. A little bit more fire starting equipment. I have some of those little wax and dryer lint nubs, as well as cotton balls and a little tube of petroleum jelly. Awesome for starting fires. My bandana for who knows what, filtering or bandanaing or bandaging or whatever. I'm not even sure what this is. What is this? Why do I have a microfiber scope cleaning cloth for my rifle scopes? That should be up here. Alright, I have a utility knife with a replaceable blade that's very, very rusted and shouldn't even hardly be in there anymore at that point. A larger fire starter. This is a toilet paper tube full of cotton rags and squashed up paper, and the whole thing was soaked in candle wax. So that'll burn for about 5 to 10 minutes and it'll start the wettest firewood that I have. A highway map. I always like to know where I'm going, plot some routes, or maybe somebody around me just needs help navigating. So I just got a basic state highway map. And a non-off-brand actual Ruger magazine for my 1022, because like I said, I almost always bring that out whenever I'm out and about in the woods or camping or hunting somewhere, going on a trip. I usually have my 22, my 1022, if not my 22 pistol as well. Hand sanitizer, another lighter. Oh look, another magazine for my 1022, because I always bring it around and they're small and light. And it's about, is that it? I think, yeah. That is it. So it's honestly kind of a conglomeration that I think needs to be worked on a little bit. But before I do anything and change what I'm doing in here, I'm going to ask you guys for a little input. What do you think I should add and or take away to this bag just to be generally prepared? Keeping in mind, I do a lot of travel for work. I drive usually around 100 miles a day back and forth to work, all over the place for my work. And I live in a rural area. I tend to commute a lot through rural areas, and I do a lot of camping or hunting or fishing in some more far removed rural areas. So that being in mind, what would you suggest?